Attending a high school reunion. Everyone is in their early 40s, and despite having a few Facebook exchanges, nobody has seen each other since leaving school. One of you has a big secret. You have broken the law and been sent to prison. It is your mission to work out which member of the group is a former prisoner, what their crime was, and how long their sentence lasted. Please remember to be realistic, as this is not a big murder mystery or fantasy. This could very well be a real-life situation. So try to imagine what it would be like to meet up with friends who have been out of lives for decades. Thank you.
Where is everyone?
I don't know. How are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. I haven't seen you in ages.
No, it's been a while.
What have you been doing?
Oh, nothing. I've just been doing some shop work.
Shop work.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been nice.
Well, I have my own franchise of hairdressing
Oh.
all around the country. And my husband has inherited a lot of money from a relative, so we're in a nice big house.
Having fun then?
Yes, definitely. We have 4 lovely children, and it's all brilliant.
Oh, good. That's good. I think I see someone coming now. Hang on.
Ooh. Hello!
Oh, you're both here!
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Oh, it's been ages. Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Oh, yeah, things have been fine.
So, what's the goss?
Not much. Dentist assistant, not really anything special.
Really? Oh, I bet you are special. You were always very interesting at school.
I guess, when scared children walk in, it's a bit...
She hasn't changed then.
No, I haven't changed. I wouldn't say.
Well, I hope everything is going well for you.
Oh, yeah, it's been fantastic.
Good. Good.
Hello again.
Oh, hello!
Oh.
You haven't grown?
Why would I?
How have you been then?
I've been alright. How have you guys been?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I've been fine. So who's missing?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she is actually.
She was always late though, wasn't she?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Remember?
that
Do you
girl.
remember those lessons when we all used to be sat there and she'd walk in late with no explanation whatsoever, just, sorry guys, I'm late.
Hi. How are you? Yeah. Good.
Charlotte, hi, how you doing?
Alright, how are you?
Yeah, things are great.
Well, this is getting awkward. Let's get this party started.
Well, you seem very guarded. I could give you the hair treatment of your life.
I don't think she wants a hair treatment.
You seem so guarded.
Me?
You need to loosen up.
I'm alright, thanks.
We're here to have fun.
Who wants a drink?
Yes.
I'm buying.
Oh, no, you can't.
I am buying.
I should get them.
Americano, please, darling.
Okay.
Thank
Anyone else?
you.
You've
No.
changed.
Change.
I'm worried about you.
Do you want
Yeah.
anything?
Changed
I'll
how?
get a glass of water, actually.
I'll have the same as her, please.
Okay.
Yeah, you have changed.
You were a lot more normal.
Yeah.
Normal. I don't know what you mean.
One Americano and
Thank
2
you.
waters.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
Ah, darling.
So,
So,
What have you all been doing?
Well, I have my own franchise of hairdressing salon all over the country. I have a nice, loving husband who inherited a lot of money.
Robert in one, don't you?
I have 4 lovely children. who
awesome.
are
Next.
So
What
well.
about you?
What are you up to?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just, same old pints every night and the
Interesting, Danielle.
Alright,
You?
so
clearly did.
No.
We did. Well, darling,
Yeah,
we
we have
all
future.
have our different life avenues.
Ignore her. If you said years ago, I'm going to uni, we all would have gone, yeah, we can see that.
You would have been a perfect student, and out of everyone, you're supposed to be the one who's got the life sorted out.
Due to circumstances which I could not control,
What
I had
happened,
to.
Charlotte?
She's fine, leave her be. At least somebody shook up the party.
Yes, party, but
Callum, are you sure you're okay with me? I know I kissed you 20 years ago and you didn't really like
He
it.
did what?
What?
look, what happened in the past happened in the past.
Yes, but it was...
I think we need
It
to
was
leave these two
something.
alone.
Something there. You know it was.
Sorry, no.
I'm
But you seem very guarded in front of me.
Oh,
Obviously, I have a
dentist work.
husband.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't seen you around lately.
you-
Did you move
look.
away?
I'm not
Yeah,
on that
for a
market
while,
anymore,
just-
okay?
Travelling a bit,
Why?
just relaxing at home a bit as
Oh,
well.
you need to show your emotions a bit
When did you
more.
go?
No.
well.
Anyway, what have you been
5
doing?
years. I've just been doing bits and bobs really.
What do you do?
This conversation sounds
I'm
interesting.
thinking
I'm
about
going to go
What
over
do
here.
you...
in
Hi.
social
Hi.
care.
Oh, social care.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
interesting.
don't know. What do you think?
I think it sounds fun. It's better than like selling happy people.
It's better
Better
than
than not being
being
yogi.
anyway. Yeah.
So you won't enjoy it.
It's not that I wasn't enjoying it.
Did it kick you out?
No, of course it didn't. She said it was circumstances.
Our circumstances.
You know you can talk to us. Tell us what happened.
Oh, just
Private stuff.
private things.
Well, if we want to talk about private, I was a private in the army.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
In the...
I did my service.
Well...
Nearly
that-
20 solid years of it, I think you'll find.
Well, I guess that's what people with hardly any qualifications do.
What do you mean hardly any
Hang on a
qualifications?
If that's how you roll, but...
That's a brave way to live.
hang on a
Thank you.
minute.
I
Being in
did
the
my
army
job.
is something great.
I served
Oh,
my
no,
country.
sir.
What have you done?
Hang on.
I'm a hairdresser, darling.
Yes.
We have.
Yeah,
Qualifications
yeah.
needed for that are...
I think we do.
Hairdressing, hair and beauty, lots of things.
So-
I need maths because I'm managing my own
Hard qualifications
franchise.
then.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not about the qualifications.
It's all about
You always wear
qualifications.
it, isn't it?
Don't-
in class,
don't you
like you
remember?
can.
Okay,
Were you in college?
I've got 4 children.
No.
Oh, children are so lovely. You're missing
To
out.
be fair, I think I have to find a man to have a child.
Yeah.
You don't have a
I don't
man,
have time.
darling. Oh.
I'm too busy.
Sorry, isn't it?
You know what?
Sorry,
I think it's my time to buy a drink now.
Yeah. Can I have Bacardi and Coke?
Brilliant. Charlotte?
Go on, have one.
I'll just have a walk.
Callum?
I've still got this one, thanks.
I'll have a Diet Coke, please, darling. I'm watching my figure.
Oh, fair enough.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, well,
Callum.
you obviously haven't got very
Okay,
much
get them now.
social skills because of your lack of qualifications. You always wear a flatterer.
But hang on a minute. What you
I did kiss
you
you,
became
though.
a
You welcome.
hairdresser and you don't need many qualifications.
I manage my own.
Right, I've got this.
Listen. Stop
Right, you would
being
like
a bitch.
Coke, you will... Who's water?
No, no offence,
You
Mum,
also-
but you can't talk about
and
qualifications if you dropped out. of
Yes.
Oh.
thanks.
Think you're fine if
Hey,
you knew the reason why.
You guys. Listen, it's not about qualification. This is about getting together. Shush. Getting together after a really long time and just
Yes,
having a good
darling.
time.
We need to love each other.
I agree with
I-
Angel.
I will give you all a free hair treatment.
No.
Full.
Stop talking about your job. All of us stop talking about our jobs and what we've done with our lives and just, have a good job. Nothing
Good
big.
job though. I was on a boyfriend at first.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, I went straight into the armed forces, of course.
Good on
Yes,
you.
you did.
That's how you go.
You didn't leave school much, did you?
I didn't need to. I had my mind
Mikey,
set
stop it.
on protecting my country.
People in the army, they just rely on strength. They don't.
My dad was in the army.
Well, I'm sure that was very unfortunate for him.
What?
But it's
Oh my
fine,
God.
darling. We all have our own avenue and ways of life. Some better than others, but still.
You have not changed.
Still self-obsessed.
Yeah.
Well, you kissed me, darling.
I just feel like Karen's ready to kind of stop talking about that now. I feel like for me,
I think we just need to let it go.
Yeah, I think 20 years is a long time now.
20 years was a great service. I did many trips.
Where did you go?
Yeah, tell us.
Well,
Oh, come on.
You know,
gotta
I
remember
did,
somewhere. You know, when
did a
the
few
travel...
few rounds and
Where's your travel
killed
to?
a few people. Not proud of it, but you
Yeah,
know.
of course.
Well, me, I just went straight into college and straight into my own business. It was brilliant, darling.
We've heard about your story.
It was so easy. I must have a natural talent.
Yes. It's really strange.
Do you think you can tickle it out of it?
So then, how is your fashion, hairdressing business?
Oh, it's brilliant, darling. I have to go to all the franchises around the country just to check on them. But I manage mine in London, in House City, and yes, it's going very well. We have a lot of well-to-do people coming here, and it's just all very, very nice, a very nice environment. Nothing goes wrong, and I have so much money for my husband as well.
That's amazing.
Have a big house, a nice swimming pool, sauna. I say beautiful all the time. There's no excuse not to say pretty, is there?
Working in a school.
Oh my god, I've always wanted to work with kids.
I have lots of kids in the dentist job as well.
I never saw her as a kid working kind.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
As we've heard.
I guess you weren't a kid
Yeah.
looking kind, were you, when you were killing or
I think the term is protecting the country. That's
Are we making accusations?
No, darling, we're not.
Doesn't sound like it. Anyway,
yeah. I think it's tipped off.
It seems to me that the problems we're having when we left school seem to keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's funny how
One
the world
time-
goes round in circles.
So
Did
it
you
is.
hear that news report the other day about the crime committed by someone from our school?
No, I didn't. Oh wait. No, yeah, I did. I was channel hopping as normal.
Yeah.
And I saw it did pop up.
Yeah, that does ring a bell.
yeah,
actually.
it does.
Very tragic. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was.
I'm more surprised it came from our school. I thought we
So
went to
am I.
quite a respectful school.
We do.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
I
you hear
don't
our
think
old
it
school
was,
actually
yeah.
shut down? Do you ever,
It shut down?
Not last year, but the year before?
Is it?
Yeah, it did.
All I know is that the person who committed the crime used to go to our school.
Was he in our class or she or?
I think they were. I remember they were in their early 40s, meaning they must have been our age. They must be our age.
What a horrible thing to do.
What did they do again? Does anyone remember?
I don't know. I missed it. I mean, I've seen it on
They
Facebook.
robbed the shop as
I'm
well.
going to go to the corner.
Armed robbery.
She doesn't look too good. Shall I go see if she's alright?
When I was in the army,
Oh, for goodness
Oh, we've heard
We used
enough
to get
about
people-
you. No, we've heard
about
enough
how you
about you
killed
being an
people, darling.
we used to get people
No, we've heard enough.
that would say
No.
something,
sake. Stop!
and then
We've
This
heard enough of
never
you being in
happens
the
in my
army.
hairdresser.
I'm gonna go see if she's alright. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, when we were in the armed forces.
Oh,
we
no, I
said
don't want to
we'd have
hear it.
conversations.
People just go on and on about things, don't they? They're just so self-obsessed and they don't appreciate other people's lives. I think she's
Lose contact. Lost? No, I mean about this. It's rolling a big thing, like. Talk about the future. Yeah, the future. Or we could say get in truth or dare. Yes! Oh my god, let's do it! Guys! Guys! Let's go truth or dare. Yes.
No.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
teenagers.
Okay, fine. I'll start.
Okay?
Danielle,
Yeah.
what have you been doing the past 20 years?
I've been, like I said, doing dentist assistants job. Moved out from home, just been doing a few odd jobs here and there.
Like,
Just shop work.
Shop work or shoplifting?
Hey! What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything.
Well,
Yeah.
you are.
You do seem a bit
Suggesting.
shifty,
Okay, what
darling.
is he suggesting?
I got a shifty.
I knew you were so smart.
Doesn't that get...
Well,
Hey!
if you ask me, he's killed people in the
Maybe
past.
he's
and he
right.
Okay, well she
He
asked
doesn't
her
have much
question.
qualifications.
Yeah.
Maybe he did.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next?
Charlotte, you were there.
I've got one.
Go on.
I dare you to go and get 4 hugging cokes and get Mikey to drink all 4. Yes! Oh my god, really? Go on!
Go on, Charlotte.
You were never this like boring.
That was a brilliant idea, seriously.
I'm so glad that we're all like getting along again.
I know.
Is it just me?
Yeah.
Does she seem a bit quiet to you guys?
She was always quiet.
I don't know. I think it might be him. He has been
No.
very violent. in the
Protecting the
past.
country.
That's what you say. And this kind of work can do
Wait a
damage
sec.
to people.
Wait a sec. Yeah. She's quiet, but I know that there's nothing wrong. She's my best friend.
She was your best friend. When was the last time you two spoke?
5 years ago on the 20th of March. We went out for a coffee and then.
A lot of things can happen in 5 years.
here you go, Mikey.
Go on, down it, 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 down it. Yeah! Okay, who's next?
I think this act is highly
Oh, shut up.
Well, this is coming from you who kills people for a living.
He's
I
not.
bet you killed your own mother.
He's
You've
next.
seen
Guys,
Yeah.
you do realise people have a lot of guilt from
Callum, truth or dare?
Well, they shouldn't just
Stop bickering, Callum.
place, should
Come on,
they?
Callum.
I do not wish to participate in this
Oh.
game.
Oh, he's
There's
got something
always-
to
Hang on,
hide.
no, you asked the question, therefore you now have to do something.
I do not want to.
Truth or dare, Callum?
And what was the reason?
What are you hiding from?
I'm not hiding anything.
I said, what are you hiding from?
Well, hiding from anything then.
And
Yeah.
freeze. Freeze. Okay. Do you think you are still providing us with an
I don't know, it's
entertainment?
No one knows who's like,
I'm trying to...
no one knows anything. No one knows who's like guilty, and like
So do
we
you?
don't know if like anyone knows if they are guilty or if someone has to make it up.
Are you listening to each other?
Yeah?
Some clues have been dropped into the improvisation, but unless you are listening, unless you're listening fully to each other, then you're not going to pick up on the cues. I would say that to you. Also, we can't have 2 groups of people speaking simultaneously. That is a fundamental rule of improvisation. If another group tails off to have a conversation that is probably quite interesting, the other group need to just be mouthing to each other or miming, but not actually saying anything. So there's 2 little things I'd pick up on to begin with. Martin.
Okay. some of the things I've got is you're not listening to each other well enough, because when you try and move the story forward, there have been some attempts to move it forward, but you keep coming back to the same things, and then you're not listening to get that progression. To go back to the beginning and start. Okay, so in terms of when the piece started, this is 20 years. Now, I know from people that I haven't seen for a long time, there are times when I don't recognise that person, because 20 years is quite a long time. Now, obviously, you don't have as much life experience to draw on, but obviously if you're in your 20s, somebody's going to look very different to what they looked like 20 years ago now. So I think you needed to ask perhaps a few more questions at the beginning to try and identify who each other were, rather than, haven't seen you for 20 years, immediately knowing who you were. Now that might happen with one person, but I don't think it would happen with all of you. I thought, Callum, your bit about Charlotte was lovely. In terms of, Charlotte's always been late. She was the missing person. That brought something in there that we were all able to listen to and focus on. We now know that Charlotte was always late. Okay, so those sorts of key elements that you can drop in.
Do you want us to start again? Or should we just carry
No, we're going to carry on.
Okay.
Okay, Mikey, well done for creating the twist to the story. You definitely put in an element of twist there, but again, perhaps didn't pick that up enough and lead on from that. Breaking up into smaller groups. I think again, sort of reinforcing what Cara's saying, is you can't have those two groups talking. You've almost got to go into the stage freeze element and be trying to listen into the conversation. And when you're not going to spend all that time together talking, when one person is going, try not to focus so much onto you, but be talking about that person. That's your opportunity to discuss between each other, what's this person been doing, how do they fit into the group, why are they here, that sort of thing. Rather than talking about yourselves, you need that opportunity while they're outside the group to identify and try and find out a little bit more about what they've been doing. And Danielle, good attempt, I thought, to pull the piece towards a conclusion. But again, you haven't followed that lead. You've actually sort of just carried on and come back to where you were. So Danielle was trying to sort of pull things to a conclusion, but you haven't listened to that and gone with that. You've pulled it back. Okay, so taking some of those things on board, remember where you were at that point that we stopped you, and now try and go forward and bring that to a conclusion.
Yeah, 5 minutes max. Okay.
What are you hiding from?
I'm not hiding from anything.
Yes, you are. I know what you've been doing. You've always been very sneaky and manipulative.
Hang on a minute, you haven't seen him for 20 years.
Yeah. Yes, but he's clearly not learned much, has he? He's still the same, and he hasn't had a successful job. my line is a very selective.
Maybe your hair products just aren't good enough to be in the shops.
Well, I earn lots
Yeah,
of
maybe.
money, darling.
Yeah.
Do you own a lot of money, or does your husband own a lot of money?
Or does
Or does
We both work
the shop you
together.
stole from?
A good
Yeah.
relationship is about working together. Yes, it is.
right?
So you're not denying it then?
No. Did you do it?
No,
I think you're really quick to accuse other people.
because I
I
know
don't
you're
trust you.
violent, so to speak.
No, it's not about violence.
Yes.
Hang on a minute. I wonder if. What's your limit? What's your drink limit?
You're drunk.
No, wait. What's your limit?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, if he's drunk. Okay. Bacardi.
Yeah. What? Alcohol.
She's very defensive.
Yeah.
She's very defensive.
She doesn't like to talk about herself.
Why would you?
Yeah, Mikey, drinker.
Thank you. Thank you, darling.
I think Mikey's had enough.
Yeah. So, are you going to really tell us what happened?
Maybe you could go into a bit more detail of what's been happening.
Yeah, but
Maybe break it down like year by year. Maybe that would make
Well,
it
after
easier.
I left school, after I did my NDQ in heritage,
Hang on a minute. Go backwards.
I left school and I did my
No. Go backwards.
Yeah.
So from this year, go back.
I married my husband many years back.
Now,
What does your husband do?
if it's not,
He
Just-
inherited a lot.
just
He
me?
doesn't do anything.
or
Oh, what's your husband's name?
struggling,
His name is Jack Carson.
And
Are
your
you sure
surname
about
isn't
that?
Carson, though, is it?
What?
It's Adams.
Yeah, I decided to keep my last name
reason for that is
because I have pride. I like it. I like it.
now, if it's not just me who's noticed this, but
Your
it
story.
appears that you are talking very slow when you're recording these events.
You're stalling, and your story doesn't even add up. What are your 4 kids' names?
Robbie, Billy, Caitlin, Erica.
Sure. What car do you drive?
My husband doesn't like the driving.
So why have you got a car outside?
He likes some driving.
Ugh.
I obviously can't drive.
Okay, freeze.
I don't know, does someone even know that, like, does someone, I don't know, because I would have, like, admitted to something, but I don't know if someone has, like, had the instructions that they're a criminal, or, like,
Right.
Is
Okay.
criminal
Does the
got
person know
instructions?
that they've done it?
Oh, yes.
Right then.
so it's obviously not
Brilliant.
legal.
Yeah. But Guy,
You have to tell us that.
No, oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Can we carry on?
you actually haven't carried out what Martin asked you to do, which
It's
we
really
were all hoping for, which was to bring it to a conclusion.
But
Um,
no one's admitting to it. The
You know,
partner's admitting
you're
to
at a party. Maybe one of you gets so drunk they pass out.
Body.
I don't. It's not really screaming reality to me.
No.
This isn't.
And I think that's the one. I mean, this is the whole point with method acting with Stanislavski. You are drawing on you're drawing on experience, or you have researched. So for if you were playing a drunk, and you would actually go and experience what that was like. So if it was about you were somebody that was homeless or living on the street, you would actually go and research that. You'd go and talk to somebody that was homeless. You might go and live on the street for a period of time to actually really get inside what that feels like. And actually at the moment, your characterizations aren't believable. Okay? Yes, you're telling a story, but you're not actually thinking, real life situation, you're at a party, do you all stand in a circle all night and just talk inanely to each other? Or actually, do you break away? Do you just have some general conversation? Do you go and sit in a corner and get pissed?
I thought
You
it
know?
was just a little reunion.
Can I ask a question? It's not Emily, is it?
No, I wouldn't have put you into that situation, Charlotte.
That really would have been the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a, I didn't know it was like
Yeah.
a big party. I thought it was just
Yeah.
a little reunion where we all just like meet, like, hey.
What if we think we know who it is?
Right. Callum, where are you drawing your character from? Who are you? What are you drawing on to create your character?
Are you wanting me to answer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know, because my character confuses me. That's the thing. I don't fully understand my character.
So do you know somebody, or have you seen somebody that you think you could put yourself inside their mind and their physicality to help you create that person? If you can't draw on it personally, because unless you can sort of get your mind inside their mind, you're not going to be a believable character, and that applies to all of you. You've got to have that, you've got to be able to draw on something to give you that characterization.